Alright, so today we're doing our map. Here we go. So first we have the Atlantic Ocean. We have the Pacific Ocean. Alright, you have the Caribbean. Caribbean Sea. Over here. Alright. Gulf of Mexico is located here. Alright, you need 6 boxes. First one are the Maya. Now the Maya are going to start in period 1. They're going to survive until late period 3, early period 4. Olmec are going to be one of the most mysterious of the Americas. The zone of Teotihuacan influence. It's a city name. Mochi and Chimu, Chimu, Huari, and then finally Tiahuanaco. Alright, now, what is the biggest reason why we don't have that much information about any of these civilizations? Hopefully you started working on your spice charts this weekend, correct? Yeah. There's not a ton of information. What is the biggest problem of why we don't have that much? What do you got, Jack?
The invaders came in and burned down all their structures and books and stuff.
Okay, you're going to have a lot of burning and stuff like that, but they don't have books. Why don't they have books? What don't they have? Adrian, what is the biggest issue? Why don't we have that much information? Patel. There's no formal system of writing. The Olmecs have some sort of writing system. We can't break it. There's no record of how to break it. No one knows how to translate what little writings we do have. However, all of those things are just done for symbols, and it's not like a whole writing system. We don't know what it means. We can't break it. So if we don't have a writing system, do we have a lot of history? No. Keep in mind that when the first time we start writing really a lot of information down, what is the most famous American civilization? Pre-Columbian. What is the most famous one, Max? Conquistadors or Spanish? What do you got, Dean?
Maya?
Nope, the Mayans are not. Oh my God, guys, what?
The Aztecs.
Aztecs. Why are the Aztecs the most famous? Well, they're awesome because they do human sacrifices. But what do you got? Emily? The Aztec calendar is very famous. Yes, yeah. Okay, well, what is the biggest reason why we know the most about the Aztecs? What was going on? Isabel?
They interacted directly with the Spanish.
The Spanish conquered the Aztecs. So the Spanish show up in what we call today Mexico, and the Aztecs are the largest, they have the largest city in the world at the time. It's not England, it's not London, it's not Paris, it's not Rome, it's actually in the Americas. The Spanish show up, and guess what they start doing? Writing things down. Now, during this time period, the Spanish are getting more information about the history of the Americas. So, every time we have information about pre-Columbian history, guess who's recording it? The Spanish. Do you really think the Spanish are really culturally sensitive to the American people? No. They're writing down only the things they want to write down and not everything. So, does that give us a complete picture or a very, very incomplete picture? Very incomplete picture. So, when we think about these civilizations, yes, they're not nearly as famous as a lot of other ones, Mesopotamians, the Egyptians, and all that stuff. The biggest reason is A, they don't have a writing system. B, the people who are writing down the information we do have generally do not really care about American civilizations because they thought they were better anyway. Okay? So, please keep that in mind. Their influence is still important. Their foundations are important. All right, so the first civilization we're going to start coloring in is going to be the Maya. Now, for me, the Maya are going to be orange. Anyone here have ever gone and seen ruins in Mexico? Maybe you went on a cruise and you went and gone to seen some temples and stuff like that? All right, if you have, those are Mayan ruins. The Mayans are the biggest influence on the Aztecs. The Aztecs essentially just copy what the Mayans do. The Mayans are going to be the longest lasting American civilization. However, we don't know that much about them, except for what we know that the Aztecs copy. And the reason why we know the Aztecs copy it is because who wrote it down? Spanish. Okay, our next big civilization is the Olmec. What is one of the most unique things about the Olmec? Who can raise your hand and tell me what is something unique? Oh, we're not raising hands today, I guess, so I'll call on you. Lily, what is something unique about the Olmec? Oh my God, people, I cannot deal with this today. You need to be prepared. You have your first test on Thursday. You are setting yourselves up. I have the same hands up this entire time. Cheyenne, what is something unique about the Olmec? They are the second major civilization. I'll take it. Holly.
The real name of them was like never discovered.
Okay, what do we have a nickname for them though?
What was
I don't know. I was trying to help you out. Alexandra. The rubber people. That was a rubber ball I was bouncing. I was trying. Okay, the rubber people. What else is unique about them? They're kind of strange for this other big thing. What do you got, Lauren?
Didn't they have some weird game?
No, that's going to be the Mayans. Then the Aztecs take it. What do you got, Dean?
They had giant heads.
They had giant heads. Yeah, they carved giant heads. We have no idea how they made them, why they made them, or anything. Miss Patel?
The colt.
The what?
The Olmec colt.
Oh, my cool, absolutely. And what about it?
They worship corn
They do worship corn, and why do they worship corn?
because it was their main crop, and they worship
It was everything. It was their wheat. It was everything. The Olmec worship corn because it gave them all of the nutrition that they had. Is corn great for your diet? It's not. It's not great, but it was much better than anything else. Zone of sure is gonna be blue for me. This means we got to draw our city. Our city is going to be located in central Mexico. Does anyone know what city is currently there?
Mexico City.
Yes, this is going to be used as the capital of many of our two biggest civilizations. It's going to be influenced here, and then it's also going to be used again for the Aztecs. So if it's a zone of influence, does that mean they have direct control? No. However, do they have a lot of push and pull in the area?
Yeah.
Yes. So it's not a regulated thing. It is highly influential. Your next one is going to be, I'm going to do black. And black is going to be for the mochi and the chimu. Now, keep in mind that when we are along, I'm going to write in Andes Mountains. Now, the Andes Mountains is one of the longest chains of mountains in the world. It's not the highest, but it is one of the longest. It is also going to be a huge barrier and a huge protection all at the same time. Keep in mind, in the Andes Mountains, typically a lot of our civilizations are going to be have straight lines to it. Why are they typically going to have straight lines? Why, Dean?
Like it's not easy going over mountains again.
Absolutely. So you typically just go to the ridge. Can we agree? The ridge of the mountains. You go to the top of the mountains, and that's the rest of your land, and then that belongs to someone else. There you go. So our first is the Chevin de Hutar. That's the name of the city, and their area is this, right over here. Now, the Andes Mountains provides a lot of protection and a lot of area. Now, does anyone know how they depended on? How did they travel through the Andes Mountains? Does anyone know? A lot of the time, they were South America is the last place to gain the wheel. They're the last ones to invent it. Now, is any communication happening between here and Europe? Anything happening between here and South Asia or anything? No, they're the last ones to develop everything. because they're the most isolated. Eventually, they will develop the wheel. However, all of your South American along the Andes Mountains travel by running. They are known for their running. All right, our next one is going to be the Huari. This is going to be this light red. The Huari are located here. They're also going to be more of a square, straight line. And then finally, your last one is going to be pink. And of course, now that I say that most of them are going to be square, this one's a circle. Okay, so these are your original American. Now, most of these are going to die off during period 1. However, the Mayan are going to last until period 3, cusp of 4. Now, the Maya are going to be the most influential. Then they're going to influence the second most influential, which will, of course, be the Aztec. You have 1 minute and 30 seconds to finishing coloring in your land and your water in order to score full points. A lot of you are missing points because you're not taking the time. I don't need you to do it perfectly, but a little bit of effort goes a long way. So you have about 1 minute and 10 seconds at this point. Fill it in so you don't have to come back to it. That would be key. You have 20 seconds. Dean, that is not your footrest,
All right.
sweetie. "20 seconds. If you are done, put your colored pencils and crayons away. We are going to go over some notes, so please take out a piece of paper. You have 10 seconds. Whatever you do not finish, it is your responsibility. It is due on Wednesday. This is a short map, so hopefully you guys have finished most of it, so that way you don't have to look at it again. Jean, you better clean that up, sweetie, because you are not getting full points on that. Alright, hopefully you have realized at this point the map is the easiest points you can get, yes? Okay? It is absolutely foolish to not get a 10 out of 10 every single time. I'm not asking you to spend 45 minutes coloring a map. However, I am asking for a little bit of effort, please. So please take that time. At the end of the day, you're going to lose points in a lot of other places. A map should not be one of them. Yes, ma'am?
Can I ask a question about this?
Sure. Everyone else should be transitioning, taking out a piece of paper, because we're going here. Yes, ma'am. What do you got?
The chart on the bottom,
Yes.
I was having trouble finding differences between them. I
Okay.
found all the similarities and I found one difference for each of them. But
Okay, perfect. What I would like tomorrow, I'm going to have more time. No, please ask me tomorrow. It's not due until Wednesday,
Okay.
so I'll help you fill it in tomorrow. What, Zach? I'm sorry, I can't hear you. What? Yeah, I don't care. I don't care where you take it, but I would take it out. Okay, so in case you haven't noticed, the Olmec, the Chavin, and the other civilizations you are studying this week are a little tricky, correct? Because there's not a ton of information, yes? Okay, so what I would like you to do is if everyone comes into class tomorrow with a good head start on their spice, like I'm saying that it's very clear you've spent your own personal time working on it, we'll sit as a group and we'll kind of hash some stuff out. How's that? Because I think you can all agree you're all kind of struggling in somewhere on your spice, yes? Just because there's not a ton of information. So if everyone shows up tomorrow with a healthy amount of spice done, which means you took the initiative on your own to do it, then we will work on it together. Is that fair? I think that's very fair. Same thing with your focus if there's something we need to address on your focus. However, I will tell you before class starts tomorrow, I'll have you take out your spice and I will walk around and see. Because if you're going to sit in the back and think you're going to have everyone fill yours in and you haven't put in the time, I'll just have you sit outside and I help the kids who work. Fair? Everyone's clear on that, yes? Perfect. All right. Here we go. So the early Mesoamerican societies. Now this is pre-Columbus. Pre-Columbian. Does anyone know when Columbus showed up in the not United States? There is no United States. What year did he show up, Lily? No. In the 70s?
No.
Hi, I didn't know your name was Lily, Zach. Lily, what year do you think? 1500s, you're getting much closer. Much closer. What year, Zach? 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. What a courageous thing to do. The summer was already there. Did you hear that rhyme growing up? There's a whole song to it. I can tell it. I won't teach you it, but I know the whole damn song. In Massachusetts is a big deal for some reason. So, 1492, Columbus sails over. Anything that happened before 1492 is pre-Columbian. Which makes sense, correct? Because it's pre-Columbus. There you go. So anything that happens pre-Columbian, we are not 100% sure on, because when Columbus shows up, all of a sudden the Spanish arrive, all of a sudden we start having written notes and stuff like that. Then we'll start having some prehistory and all of that. So our information varies, like I covered before. Now, it is important to know that the first Mesoamericans, or the first Americans, are going to be coming from a land bridge from Russia. Okay? There's a couple weeks every single year, depending on the rain and all that, and a couple other factors. There's a land bridge, which means the continents of Asia and North America can be somewhat connected, that you can easily paddle from one piece of land to another piece of land. In some places, you can just straight up walk. That is how the first people got to the Americas, because where were people first originally found? Who can raise your hand and tell me? Where are the first people? Isabella? Africa. So you just don't have people showing up in the Americas. They have to get there. Can we agree? So they're going to have to walk there, and they're going to walk all the way up. So have people been living in the Americas as long as they've been living in other places? No, they have not been. They're the last to get a written language. They're the last to get the wheel. They are the last to get bronze. So do you think they're, in comparison to Asia specifically, are they going to be advanced or behind? They're going to be behind, but does that mean they don't have any value? No, they have a lot of value, and the things they are able to accomplish are pretty great. Now, they are hunter-gathering societies for much longer than anywhere else because they don't have the metallurgy until much later. A lot of your farming is going to be done with metallurgy, and also the technology, the idea, the insight has to get there. They're also going to have a much smaller population for quite some time because they are not doing what as fast as everyone else? Dean?
Expanding.
Well, why aren't they expanding? They're not farming yet, so is their population going to rise or stay the same? Stay the same. So you can't really have a ton of advancement unless you have the population. You can't have the population until you start farming. And they're going to start farming later. However, once they get it, it's going to explode. And like I said, the Aztecs are going to have the largest city in the world. And it is going to be bigger than London, Paris, Rome, any other city in the world. So, now the Olmecs are going to be your first civilization. There's a little bit of, people say there's a first civilization, but have a good day. Tomorrow will be better, yes? Yeah, it will. Have a good day.